Testing, testing. Is the volume okay? Alright, so before I begin, my voice changer program is kind of broken because I have to upgrade my computer and stuff kind of happened. Most my data is saved. The configurations of most software is still present, but some things are corrupted as expected. So I'm still in the midst of sorting it out, and I'm honestly too lazy to fix it, so there may or may not be any more voice changes in the future. Depends if I'm feeling extra gay and I want to feel like a gay. So in any case, this is my real voice. Don't doubt it. Alright, so today I am doing solo. This new thing called Webnovel WPC Blood and Blood Discussion. I will be featuring Overlord Venus like next. Okay, so the goal of this series is actually to hit 500 subscribers. The reason why I am doing this is because I made a promise with a certain somebody, aka Overlord Venus, that I will be doing this until we reach like 500 subscribers, so that I can buy him. I actually promised him to actually buy him Scrivener, which is the rich writer software. So I did a previous stream with Grand Void Taoist about this, and yeah, I think less than a week after that stream I bought my own license. It was not with an offer, it was like full price, and I had no money back then, like not enough money for that luxury. I went to my Patreon, and thankfully my Patreons have been really supportive, so thank you Patreons for actually literally sponsoring my Scrivener. I will try to make enough money from writing alone to get Overlord Venus as well as Droopy Ghost their Scrivener licenses, so that they can actually write offline and not use crappy Microsoft Word documents that always crash, especially when internet and electricity are not very stable in the countries that they are from. So today I'm not sure how receptive the audiences on my channel would be, but I thought that it would be interesting to cover these WPC things. Okay, if you do not know what WPC is, a very short introduction is that web novel, apart from WSA, which is Web Novel Spirity Awards that happens every year like for 6 months. Okay, this WPC, the beauty of it, if I recall correctly, because I haven't been very active there, is something that hosts like once a week, like a new topic would come out every once a week. So this topic, it was actually like last week's topic, but it's a new series on YouTube, so I haven't actually gotten like a track record of knowing what's going on. So I just checked. It's celebrities, as you can see, it's in pink because that's FL based. If you don't know what FL means, it means female lead. If you want to know why they are so gender stereotyped on web novel, go and check out my previous links on live streams that I did based on explaining how e-fiction platforms work, as well as the various platforms. So today we're only focused on web novel because web novel is probably the biggest e-fiction platform out there that actually hosts this writing competitions regularly that you can debut in. I've actually written a blog that will come out next month about debuting in writing competitions and how to pick one, and I've also did a live stream previously, so if you can't wait for the blog, just watch the live stream. Right, so pink for FL, celebrities, and then blue for ML, male lead, it's for dungeons. So we're gonna explore a little bit of this is what the series is about, so we will do this weekly. Before I start, I just want to clarify that no, I will not be entertaining any WPC participant reviews or writing techniques or whatnot, because you are supposed to write the book yourself, not me. So, and those are actually paid services. If you want me to review your WPC entry before you write something and participate in that, you're gonna have to go to my Patreon and subscribe for second tier. Okay, but if you don't have money and you don't want to subscribe and you want free advice, well, go check out my free e-course, links in the description as well, on my website. It's all blogs. And go check out all my previous live streams, because I'm sure I covered a lot of that. And a lot of the authors on Webnovel who actually know me for a while now from back then, they can attest to it. So it's not my words, okay? Some of those are actually words by the content editors who left Webnovel like this year, early this year, or maybe last year. I can't remember, time flies. So in any case, those are actual advice by professionals, so you can choose to listen to them or discard them. So I will not be giving consultations for free on my streams. That is a clarification. So upfront, I'm letting you know that if you're here to watch, it's just us sharing our opinions and our views about these WPC competitions and what can be done, like exploring the what ifs of books that we will probably not start writing, even though it is quite interesting to think about it. So another section of this WPC discussion is that after the discussion of going through what can be done, we as in me and Venus, Overlord Venus, will be doing this writing prompts challenge. So based on the themes that WPC gave, we would come up with something short, like a timed writing prompt exercise, like 15 minutes. So I'm gonna try both ends, like FL and ML. Okay, just to clarify, I don't identify as an FL or ML or BL writer because I write everything, which is why my reader base is a little bit wrecked. So it's spread out across and very different. So I don't follow strictly to any of those guidelines either, which makes me a very versatile writer, but as well as a very niche writer. So Overlord Venus himself is probably a little bit more ML. So he writes a lot of ML, but not in a classic sense of web novel ML style. Like, it's a hybrid. He has a series that is very popular. It's I Hate Systems, and that's very web novel classic. But at the same time, he's the kind of writer who writes about parasites and cultivation, in a sense. So he's also a niche writer, but he has mainstream works, and he's quite well known in the web novel community as a senpai. So let's see. I will probably be taking on the FL parts of this web novel discussion writing challenge, and he would probably be taking on the ML portion. So we'll see. We'll kind of exchange and compare. So if the series actually takes off when there are more than 5 viewers concurrently whenever we stream, I'm still checking out the stream timings a little bit because I don't really know what is a good time, right? So I will open up the stream floor in my Discord server. You can join as well if you're interested, right? I will open that floor out for other writers to participate as well, to share your opinions about the WPC prompts, and then also to do the writing challenge. Okay, so how does the writing challenge work? Simple. It's 15 minutes. We'll use Sprinto, get in my server, get a writer tag, and then after that, hop in the writer channel. We'll use Sprinto. We start a sprint, everyone hops in, and then at the end of it, you get a notification. You can choose to write down your word count or not, but in any case, you only have about 15 or 20, we're not too sure yet, okay, we'll just figure it out along the way, about 15 to 20 minutes to actually end your writing prompt. So based on the WPC prompt topics, you're supposed to write something out of it. It could be the first chapter, it could be like an outline, a plot, it could be anything. We haven't figured that part out yet. So that's what today's stream is gonna be about. So enough of me rambling, let's get started. Okay, found it. I'm so sorry. Right, so this is WPC, okay? As you can see, web novel is not the best. Their marketing team kind of fucked up. They say 315 and 316 on the picture itself, but it is actually 317 and 318. So in case you do not know how to find this, okay, go to web novels website. Sorry, this is just my default page, okay? Under your account, go to inbox. You should see it there. Okay, no, not messages. Under events, okay? If you're on the app, I think it works the same way. You can find it on Inkstone as well. So as you can see, dang, right? So over here, 8 days ago, so writing prompts contest 317 and 318, and these are like the themes over here, so you can actually try to see it like at first glance if it interests you. If it doesn't interest you, then meh, just pass it up. It comes weekly if I'm not wrong. Okay, and then 3 days ago, it was like the previous WPCs that they actually finished up. I don't know why it's like 317 over here and it's like 309 and 310 here. I think it's a typo. Oh, it's not a typo? Whoa, they take that long to actually... Okay, well, I have no idea, but that's maybe because of WSA, like the biggest writing competition. I don't know when this is gonna end, actually. I didn't participate this year because I found no need to do so. Right. Okay. So you can still participate WSA for 47 more days. If you want to know some tips about participating this and what this is all about, my e-course states it all, and my previous live streams also states it all. So go check those out. I'm not entertaining queries today, right? Right, so this WPC used to be hosted weekly, and then after every 2 weeks it ends, and then just one more week. So it's like 3 weeks in total before you know if you actually won anything. So there are like first 3 prizes and stuff like that. So this is how you can find it on the desktop itself. So go to your inbox. I think it works the same in apps. Okay, so you just go to your messages. It will be there. Okay, if you are going through Inkstone, this is how you do it. Alright, log on to Inkstock, go to your dashboard. If you see over here, okay, you scroll down. This is on desktop, by the way. I don't use Inkstone. Okay, go away. I don't use the Inkstone, what do you call that? App. Because it's not so... It's a little bit of pain to be writing on it as well. So here, under here, writing contest, as you can see. So it tells you when is the finishing date for all these writing contests. So this is finishing in 2 months, and this is finishing in 5 days. So they give you about 14 days, which is basically 2 weeks for writing prompt contest. It's easier to get a contract by winning a writing prompt contest than Web Novel Spirity Awards. That's what I'm saying, because there are lesser people doing this. So you can check all the writing contests over here. Yeah, and then there are like all these things. So these are the ongoing ones. I'm not sure if it's really updated or it's like well maintained, but in any case, this is the one. So you can click on it and it will still bring you to the same page that I am on. Alright, there's a little bit of a typo. Web Novel team, if you're watching my videos, please fix this. And please take note of details, because these kind of things are really annoying for me. I don't know about people. So in any case, we have 2 topics. So usually they will give 2 topics, male lead and female lead. The female lead usually appears first because ladies first, everybody knows that. So female lead is about celebrities, and if you click on this tab, it's male lead, it's about dungeon. Alright, so usually they will give you some examples of what they want to see. Why are writing competitions hosted so regularly on Web Novels as compared to other sites like Good Novel and Wattpad? The reason is because Web Novel is a money-making company and they want certain content. So when they come up with these competitions, it's usually because they lack this kind of selling content whereby they see a reader market. So you are actually pretty much guaranteed that your book will have readers, because these are decided mostly by the marketing team of Web Novel. So for example, there's a trend, a rising trend in readers wanting to read celebrities. How, right? So let's just check it out. So they give you a brief example. The entertainment world is full of glitz and glamour, though there are ugly sides to it. Basically, they want face-slapping drama, if they say this. So being in the spotlight constantly might make it hard for celebrities to find a true connection with a special someone in their lives. So this is the selling point. This is the hook of entire celebrity romance stories, which people want to see. So be in a fake relationship for publicity, or having to fight the romantic feelings bubbling up inside. We want to see how your MCs, main characters, okay, this is lingo, main characters, find love in the thrilling world of celebrities. This is a fantasy. So in FL, you gotta know FL is like a huge umbrella, and BL is one of the things in this FL sub umbrella. Right, so BL is counted. So even though they didn't say it explicitly, it is counted in FL. So you can write BL in FL. So the part whereby they have to find a true connection with someone special and all these fight romantic bubbling feelings, it's giving a lot of BL vibes as well. You can do anything you want as long as you are dating a celebrity. So some of the ideas here that you don't have to follow, but Web Novel gives them to you so that you know which direction to write into if you are an author looking to make money out of writing. Okay, I don't suggest doing something you're not passionate about, but if this is your thing, these are the suggestions by Web Novel itself. So, for example, you are an A-list celebrity with a large fan base. Unfortunately, that also means that you have a group of haters. I mean, that's true. If you don't have haters, you're doing something wrong. So after some death threats, wow, drama, okay, and actual attempts at your life, even more drama, your agency decides to hire a bodyguard to protect you 24/7. And this is pretty much BL, if I see it this way, okay? As the two of you spend almost every waking moment together, will your relationship develop into something more? Okay, this is like a no no-brainer. Of course it will, because it's a story about celebrities and it's romance. So yeah, you can do this. And also, your FL is a rookie. Okay, FL stands for female lead. Okay, so rookie actress who is about to begin filming a new movie with your ML. ML stands for male lead. So a seasoned actor. To gain some good publicity for the movie, the director wants your FL and ML to pretend to be a couple. Alright, this is very true. So for people who do not know what celebrity worlds and entertainment do that, it's shipping. So why fans ship? And directors actually encourage actors to create moments for fans to ship. It's good publicity, okay? People like to imagine things, and people share things on the social media like really crazily, and it becomes a hype dream. So this is actually a thing. So it is a pretend couple, but your FL and ML agree to make a promise between each other to never fall in love, but somehow sparks seem to be flying in every direction with every touch they share. It's just their imagination, right? Or is it not? So if you take a look, this is pretty much real life drama as well. For instance, if you go to Hollywood, why do actors and actresses, like the actors and their co-actors, actually fall in love after working on a movie? So it's this kind of things that happens in real life, that you take a touch of reality, spin it with a lot of sugar and spice, and then turn it into a best-selling novel for the WPC. It's no-brainer. So they give you some suggestions. You can take it to the new level. Yeah, so this is very typical FL. A lot of drama, a lot of sugar, a lot of spice, a lot of face-slapping moments, but not so. In here, not a lot of face-slapping moments, but a lot of what we call drama. They want drama. The first one wants face-slapping. The second one wants drama. Alright, and then the next kind of prompt that the web novel gives you for this topic is that you are a lead singer. So celebrity doesn't have to be an actor or an actress, it just means someone famous. So you can be a singer, you can be a pop star. That is still a celebrity, it counts. So you are a lead singer of a very popular band. Your songs are always in the top 10 on the charts, and your albums sell out within an hour. However, there is an upcoming band that has shot to fame almost instantly, resulting in your band seeing them as their sworn enemy. You're supposed to feel the same, but when you heard the lead singer's voice, it was like you have been enchanted by it. So what happens now? Right, so this is a typical romance trope of enemies to lovers, in a sense, so you can explore this if this is your kind of thing. Alright, and then probably the last prompt given by web novel. So after a crazy night of partying and drinking, you wake up with a pounding headache, and your face flashed all over the news and media. I mean, this is a very typical Western movie kind of teenage romance where you party too hard, you fucked up, and then things happen from there. It's a whirlwind romance, so countless pictures of you kissing a famous celebrity in a bar are floating around the internet. Before you know it, the celebrity you were involved with brings you to their house so that you can hide out while the storm blows over. Away from the cameras, you slowly get to know the real person behind the glamorous personality they put out for the world. So it could be good, it could be bad. In this case, you can actually twist things a little bit. You don't have to follow it. So instead of brings you to their house, you can change it to kidnaps you to their house. Right, so shady little business. So Stockholm Syndrome is still a thing, and people still actually buy this in FL, as much as I hate to say it, but yes. Right, so retract. Right, so these are some of like the expanded hints that they give you in FL for celebrities, and then they give you some books to check out for reference. So some of these are actually translated, but others are actually original by the web novel writers. Something seems to be wrong with my stream, or not. It's just on my end. Okay, never mind. Right, so this celebrity crush in my bed, dang 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 dang. Right, so you can take a look at this. So this is a very typical FL synopsis. If you do not know how to choose your cover, title your things, and write your own synopsis, take note of this. Alternatively, go to my free e-course. I've written a blog about that. It's published like a few weeks back. Or go to one of my live streams in the past, because it is covered before. Right, so this is good marketing hook. So celebrity crush, exclamation mark, in my bed, exclamation mark. It makes no real English sense, but hey, it sells, okay? People just want to see in my bed. That's the selling point, right? It's a hot thing. And then the next one here. So okay, a note. This warning mature content is usually a spoiler alert, but in this case it's used as a marketing technique, so Bayvita did well with this. Bayvita is actually a web novel author, original author, I think. Yeah, I think I know her somewhere. I can't remember. So anyway, the title is like too freaking long. It got cut off over here. So Empress of the Entertainment World, blah blah blah. Okay, so you can actually take a look at all these things. So again, the selling point of this is smut, aka mature content. Alright, and then the last one over here is don't fall in love with Tung Tung. Okay, so it's too long again, so don't fall in love with an idol. For those of you who actually come from traditional publishing background and you're wondering what the hell is with all these titles, welcome to the web novel world. If you don't understand what these are for, it's because of SEO, whereby everybody tries to make a similar title with everybody else just so that people who are on the hype train gets like recommendation reads, somewhat like how YouTube actually views your history, watching history, and recommends you videos. It's pretty similar. So this is how it's done anyway. So this one's about K-pop, and yeah, idol is pretty much that. Okay, and then if you see these things, okay, do not worry if you do not have enough Power Stone votes. You can vote for yourself, be shameless a little bit, okay, but it's not compulsory to actually do this thing. It used to be based on popularity of votes, and then people started buying votes at one point of time that Webnovel found out, and Webnovel banned that system. So now all the votes here are kind of for viewership, but it's not really for content based. So two things: how to win web novel. The first thing, you need content. Okay, you need good enough selling potential that the editors, the content editors of web novel will make a judge for. And then secondly, you need to have readership. So how do you do readership? Okay, it's all about marketing. Firstly, you need a cover that's good enough. Secondly, you need a title that will pull readers in. Thirdly, you need a synopsis that will be good when featured so that new readers who don't know who you are can actually get into it. Right? And then lastly, you can use things called tags. It's like, I think, limited to 10 tags on web novel that is severely restricted currently. So you can't make your own, but you can use the tags that are a little bit, you know, not so common. Like, don't use romance. I mean, you can put romance there, but romance is something maybe 100% of all FL authors uses, so you're not gonna stand out from that. Instead, what you can do is that you can put things like, I don't know, bad boy if it's a bad boy, or things like sweet crush, or things like Omegaverse if you're into those kind of niche genres, while doing an overview of it. So these are by popular. You can say FL. FL is usually flooded for some reason. I don't know. So there are like 15 entries so far. I would say that 15 is not a lot because it can be a lot more. And it's ending like in about a week. So this is not quite a popular ranked competition. If you find like newest, it should change. Right? Yeah, it changed, so you can actually sort yourself through there. And then okay, so the prizes of WPC, since this is the first stream that not a lot of people know, right? The prizes for gold, which, okay, by the way, gold, silver, and bronze are not limited to one winner only. It can be multiple winner in the category, and it can be none at all. It depends on the content editor's final say. They have a criteria for all these. So gold means you get a free book cover design that is not web novels pre-made content cover creator. Okay, so it's like customized for you, Photoshop professionals by the marketing team and whatnot. Excuse me. Right, so it's a cover design that's free. You don't have to do it by yourself, and then it has social media presence as well. Okay, this one you really have to chase and follow with web novel because sometimes they conveniently forget about it. So you have to follow up on that, as well as some writing prompt contest features. Yes, you will be featured in the app. I'm not so sure of on the desktop, but in the app you will definitely have a feature slot. You just don't know when. Right, so for silver you get frame, and then for bronze you get badge and all these things. Yeah, but for the like top 3 or top 5 prizes, something like that, they will send you a contract. So how does the contract look like? Okay, go to Inkstone again. If you see here, there's this tab called contracts. So they will send you here, Alright, and if they don't send you here, even though you're in the top 5 or top 3 of the WPC competition that you won, please go and find the content editors. How do you find a content editor? I'm glad you asked, even though nobody really asked here. Okay, if you look at dashboard here, how to find the right content editor. Bum, click on this. How to find the right content editor. So here, bum, click on this. Okay, read this thing. So basically, there are several editors to find. If you want to find WPC prizes, maybe you can find these people here. Alright, alternatively, send an email, although it's like really slow. If you do not have Discord, use Zendesk, which is the thing that I normally close. Alright, and then these are all the other editors and their contact numbers. So this is how you actually follow up with Webnovel. They are a big company, they are a busy company, and you have to really chase. So these are like some of the promotions and whatnots, right? Blah 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 blah. So these are all the rules that I don't want to go through. You can just do this. One thing to note, fanfictions are not considered original works, so you may not write a fanfiction for your WPC. You will be disqualified no matter how great you are, right? And then here, I think you will need, I can't remember, what's the word count again? There is a minimum word requirement. I think it's 4,000 or 5,000. I can't remember. Yeah. See, number 5. Only novels that have more than 5,000 words will be eligible for final rankings. Fanfictions are ineligible. So yeah, read this really carefully if you want to win WPC. Right, so you don't have to write an 80,000 novel for your WPC. Even though most people write 200,000 by the end of it, you don't have to, okay? You don't have to. The contract that you get is an exclusive contract, so you don't have to sign if you don't want to, but by not signing it, I think you will not be eligible to the prizes. For example, social media presence, features, and the cover, specific cover design if you're gold priced. So yeah, these are some of the things you have to take note, but it is actually really good exposure. So these are some of the comments. People are just hungry for views for all their books. They're like, oh my god, I participated, check out my book and stuff. Yeah, okay, ignore those. Right, so if you want to check out the views, you can just go to, okay, take a look at newest. So this is probably the newest. So if you click on it, you will see 616 views, 3 chapters. This is like the newest entry of it. I don't know when it was created. It's like what, 1 day ago. In 1 day, you get 616 views with just 3 chapters. Some very not so professionally made cover, but good enough. Alright, so I'll rate the cover an 8 out of 10. So this is really good because Webnovel likes this kind of things. Okay, the only thing I have a complaint about is the fonts are not very visible. It's not like striking out enough, but the scheme and everything is great. So Beloved Bodyguard, that is an acceptable title, not the best, not very catchy in Webnovel stuff. You could write things like a whirlwind romance with my beloved bodyguard, something like that. That would be a better title. Alright, and this kind of things, this is like a very typical newbie writer kind of yeah, but they use text, so that's a plus point as well. And then these are the power stones that they gained, and then they have reviews here. So another tip of this is, if you join writing competitions and you find other writers who also join writing competitions and you actually don't want to drop this book even though you don't win, you can do review swaps with other writers who are interested, although I don't do that because it's a waste of time. But anyway, let's go back. So this is how it's done. Same thing with the ML portion of it. So yeah, it's actually really good for like starting out. So if you want to debut as a writer and you have no idea what to do, you want exposure, join a WPC. And because the topics change weekly or so, you can actually opt to do or skip on a WPC if the topic is not suitable for you. Don't force it. If you have no inspirations, don't force it. You will end up regretting. Okay? Alright, next one, male lead dungeon. So dungeon is not the kind whereby, you know, the prisoners are there and no. When I talk about male lead dungeon in web novel context, it's more like leveling up, like RPG game kind of dungeon that you see in a lot of animes, like a danmachi is a very good way of dungeon. Another one is what's that called, F-class suicidal hunter. Yeah, that's dungeon as well, whereby you have to clear stages, kill monsters, and get to the next stage and clear the game or something like this, right? That is what it means by dungeon in web novel status. Alright, so the idea of dungeons, as you can see, it has been long enough, blah blah blah. Okay, monsters, trapped, treasures await those who are brave enough to step foot into this place. To venture forth into its depths, you have to risk your life and blah blah blah. So it's basically RPG. Right, so it's a little bit shorter than the FL versions because ML, it's very strange. ML is very straight to the point. FL will take a little bit more effort to explain how it is. So some ideas here which actually exist already. So as an experienced adventurer in the world of magic, so this is about magic and swords, you are used to diving into dungeons to defeat monsters to earn a living, but one day you came across a weird dungeon that seems to bring you to another world. So another world, this is a trope also very mainstream on web novel. It's called isekai. Right? You don't necessarily need Truck-kun to bring you over. You can do it in any form. Okay, so in this case, they say it's a dungeon. So a world where people dress differently and move around things called cars. You found out that dungeons have appeared in this world, and the people here have been struggling to deal with monsters. So you decide to set up a new organization to train new adventurers in this world. It is similar to solo leveling. Okay, speaking of solo leveling, like RIP to the artists who actually did solo leveling. They passed away in a car crash or something. I'm not sure how they died, but they're no longer here with us, and that's very sad because a death of any content creator is sad. Alright, so this is a hybrid of many mainstream tropes like mashed together. You don't have to follow it extremely like strictly. You can do it the reverse. You can do like, oh, I'm like a regular person in like this world, and then I died and I went to this world and now I'm an adventurer in a dungeon and stuff like that. Or you can even do it like Sword Art Online, whereby you play a game and then you're all trapped in that VR world. You have to finish all like 100 levels of that before you clear it. Yeah, that is dungeon as well. So it's up to you. Right? Another one day dungeons appeared all over the world and people started to gain special abilities after that allowed them to challenge these dungeons. You were one of the people who would hunt inside the dungeons until you died inside it, only to find out that you have reincarnated as one of the monsters. So what would you do now? Right? So this is actually really interesting as well. You can do this, you can change this, it's up to you. Right? There's also another one that I read before in a manga, right? It's a dungeon creator whereby he became the demon lord of the dungeon, and he has to actually plan resources in a leveling system to terminate adventurers that invade his dungeon. So you can do a reverse and it still counts. Alright, and over here, you are a newly born demon lord who has to create and manage your own dungeon. Yep, pretty much what I said. Alright, so thankfully you also receive a system that helps you by allowing you to purchase things with system points for completing quests. Your goal is to create the greatest dungeon the world has ever seen. Are you up for that task? This can go two ways, okay? It can be system and it can also be world building. So if you like world building and you want to incorporate this inside here, it's fine, right? If you want to write harem though, go for it. Web novel doesn't restrict that, right? So the last one over here, you and your classmates were summoned to another world to help defeat the demon lord by conquering the biggest dungeon in the continent before you can return home. Kind of sounds like Shield Hero, but okay. But along the way, you found out that conquering the dungeon would actually do the opposite and no one believes you. How do you prevent your friends from conquering the dungeon? Okay, sounds like Shield Hero and sounds like anti-hero protagonist kind of thing. So if you're up for that as well, you can write that. So these are some of the suggestions. It's, as you can see, web novel takes a lot of inspiration from mainstream creations. So all these are mainstream. So if you write any of these and you put any of these in there, it's almost guaranteed that you will sell in a sense. So some of the things that are here are, what do you mean there are other transmigrators in my harem fantasy? Okay, this is a very typical good web novel titling, but not exactly the best in terms of outside web novel. It works here, so if you want to win web novel, this is highly recommended. And as you can see in ML, pretty similar to like in Hollywood movies, they have this male gaze thing. Can you see the unrealistic thick thighs that these protagonists have? Tiny waist and like maybe, I don't know, G-cup boobs. Yeah, so this is pretty much what it is like on Webnovel. It's a good cover that sells for the ML community, right? It's simple. They see something they like, they click. And they see harem, they see transmigrator. It's almost guaranteed that you get views, but I'm not sure if the people who read it would stay. Depends on how you build up on it. It's pretty much fan service. So in the most cliche fashion, blah blah blah, truck couldn't smash into my world, killing everyone in it. So this is a really good opening. So you can reference to this work if you are interested in writing for dungeons. It's actually really good though. Right, so another one, Moloxi. Okay, this person has been here since the beginning of Webnovel. They are also fellow Singaporeans, so yay, they've been writing this for like a very long time. I actually really like this, but I kind of dropped halfway because, well, it was a responsibility to keep following, and I didn't feel like it because I kind of liked it. I knew I would like it, and I just didn't want to see anymore because, well, it was getting too much hate, too much flame from people who don't know what they're talking about, that I grew sick of the community there, not gonna lie. I left, and I actually uninstalled Webnovel on my phone at one point of time for like a very long point because Webnovel has a rather, how do I say, toxic reader and writer community whereby everybody thinks that they are best. So you find a very high percentage of narcissists with self-esteem issues on there. Yeah, just I left for that. Like, my mental health was not doing great, and there are very big writers in there who are just leading this pool of toxic people and reigning king in there, but because they earn money, so Webnovel didn't really terminate them. I don't care, right? I don't care. I'm doing this for myself, for fun, and because Overlord Venus needs a scrivener. Right, so Moloxif is actually really great. They're also a very humble person. They work full-time, by the way. In Singapore, you cannot just write web novels and expect to retire because the cost of living here is so high. The inflation rate, I want to complain about that for a while. The inflation rate, thanks to everything that's happening around the earth right now, is like 5%. And cost of living is up by, I don't know, 40-50%. It's crazy. And I just transitioned from moving into a full-time freelancer. I'm like currently a full-time freelancer. My pay is not guaranteed, and the inflation is just killing everything. I can't even buy takeouts at peace because I just be like, that shit is too expensive. I can't afford to eat this much nowadays. So it kind of helps with diet, but it doesn't help with mental stress. So that is one of the things. So Moloxif, as well as another one that is a Singaporean writer. What's the name again? Dre Aki. Dre Aki is the one who writes the My Disciples Are Yandere. They started the Yandere train. She is also Singaporean. She also works full-time because even though they are like top writers in ranks, yes, Moloxif is also in ranks, the pay is just not enough to actually survive in Singapore. Even if I had every month USD 2,000, it's gonna be a very difficult survival process. Like, I can probably survive, but I cannot, like, spend money with ease knowing that I will not starve the next month. That's just not gonna happen here. Like, the inflation rate climbs by the day here because of things that go around the world, and they always ever go up but not come down. The only thing that goes down is probably your bonus from like this year if the year is doing badly. This year nobody's gonna get a bonus, I feel, because yeah. Anyways, moving on. Right, so the next one was the one that I actually talked about. So there is manga for this. I actually found the manga before I knew that it was a light novel. It's Korean and it's really good. So I highly recommend anyone who loves mainstream to read this first. This is like the staple of all system dungeon novels. They started this trend and they popularized it. I don't know if they started it, but they definitely popularized it. This is really good, like really, really good. So some people who read to the end of the novel like meh, but I still think it's worth it. Right, so give it a try. If I recommend it, it's definitely worth it because I'm a very picky reader, just like how I'm a very picky eater, just like how I'm a very picky writer, just like how I'm just very finicky about everything in life. Anyways, moving on. Right, so these are some of the works that you can take a look for. Some of these names are new and some of these names are old. So yes, same thing, prices, no change. Same thing, rules, no change. Same thing, shameless people advertising themselves, no change. Right, So that's all for this. Right, so I'm gonna move on to a different segment. Now that we have these two, okay, normally if Venus is here, he would be taking on this section, which is more fun, obviously male lead, because these are the things that I write without romance, of course. I specialize no romance. But because for the sake of, if Venus is here, I need to practice how to write FL. It's not my she's. That's really Aina and Dame Butterfly, and Sunscar's kind of she's, not me. Droopy is kind of like a BL, but I will try to write both today, starting with this and then moving on to this. So how do we do this? This is how we do it. Okay, so I made one for Venus as well. I have not given them the link yet, so yeah, I need their Gmail. They're currently not online, I think, because they have fucked up sleep cycles. Alright, that's what happens if you're a full-time writer for a little bit too long and you have no discipline with your life and you become this kind of person. Yeah. Right, so any case, this is how I'm gonna do it. So I will put like I have no idea what am I meant to do. Okay, I will probably try to pick on one of these, decide on one of it, like the ideas section here. Okay, like one of these, and then do like a opening, maybe 300 word opening in like 15 minutes, and then for this as well. Let me just, yeah, okay, so I probably do like an opening for this and an opening for this, and I have no idea, so I'm just gonna like pick out one of these, copy it and put it in there because I need referencing. So give me some time. And to whoever who is on my stream right now, thank you for joining. You're a little bit late, but it's fine. So we're on to like the second and final section of the stream. You don't know what this is like, feel free to join as well, and then yeah, write it down in the comments of this stream or the chat of this stream. I don't know if you want to. I need time to think and I need to stop talking. It's a good thing I have BGM. I will probably need time to come up with concepts. Okay, concepts. Okay, oh my god, you are looking into a preview of how I normally type with all my typos, as well as my brainstorming and outlining technique. If you need to know, that's on my blog. It's a 3-level outlining technique by Aitsuji. Okay, these are like the basics of it. So the title is I hate FL. I saw I'll never write FL again. I'm feeling apparently. So celebrities, right? Celebrities. What kind of celebrities do I know? I feel like I'm gonna be doing something very outrageous here, but okay, here goes nothing. Okay, something like that. So concept, right, so forced marriage, something like that. Also danger daily, because you missed the first part of the stream. No, it will not be reviews about different novels, because that's gonna be free critic, where you actually have to pay for second tier of Patreon to get that from me. I'm not gonna be reviewing anybody else's novels, so no, I won't be doing that. Alright, so if you want to know how novels actually work, and you want tips on writing better, go to free e-course, links in the description, and go to past live streams. I think I covered a few of those. So yeah, I will not be reviewing. It's more like an exploration of the themes itself and doing a writing prompt challenge of our own. So currently I'm doing it solo, but in future dates to come, I will be inviting Overlord Venus over here until we get 500 subscribers on my YouTube channel, because once I hit 500 and it remains at 500, I'm gonna buy him a Scrivener license so that he can actually write offline like the actual writer that he is supposed to be. And then yeah, so if I get 100 subscribers for my second YouTube channel, I'll be getting Scrivener license for Droopy Ghost. Yeah, because their internet keep crashing, they keep losing files and everything. Dame Butterfly I will also be getting for, but I haven't figured out a milestone just yet. Alright, so this is like the writing challenge section. You can feel free to come up with it. So there are two, like dungeon is for male lead and celebrities is for female lead. So these are the kind of things that I come up with. I should probably do the same here as well. So I'm currently in the plotting process because I have no idea how this stream is gonna be like at the moment. This is it. Then I'll do like a 15-minute timer kind of thing. So I might adjust if it's too short in future when Venus comes online. So I'm also testing this because I don't know how long this stream is gonna last. I estimate it to be like an hour to 2 hours, but with Venus, who knows? Alright, so character, I don't know, FL. Okay, my fantastic spelling, don't mind. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore that. Okay, so I think I roughly got the outline of this FL one. I'm just gonna do this. I don't really know, but okay. Dungeons. Pretty similar to something I did before. Yeah, I honestly have a soft spot for slime, so what the heck. And my spelling is fantastic as well. What? Right, so normally how I do this is I first come up with the concept. So these are usually tags, but it's not currently tags, but it's good enough. Good enough, right? So I will. Anyways, right. So this one is 318. So plot outline. So the typical way to start this is getting isekai, but I don't really want to isekai because it's too cliche. Okay, so this is usually how outlining works. Title, just get some random title that kind of works. Concept, just get some text that you know will be a genre on web novel. A character, just come up with main characters. I usually do not come up with names in the drafts. Okay, so it's just like the role of the character and what they do. So obviously the first one over here, there has to be two because in an FL book you normally need to have a female lead or a male lead and like a male interest lead or something like that. In any case, you need to have two people because love, unless you are writing self-love, it doesn't work with just one. It can be more than one if you're doing like a polygamous kind of thing, polyamorous kind of thing. I do not suggest it though, so stick to two because it's required, like minimum requirement. Okay, and then in the plot outline over here, so this is mine. So FL gets tricked into signing a shady entertainment contract to pay off her loans in a shady entertainment company when ML enters and ML brackets, so he's the only hot selling idol in the company that's shady, and sees that the girl is going to be so into doing shitty things and obviously not cut out for this industry, so he offers the company a solution to his dating scandal so he can return to work by signing a marriage certificate with FL instead of getting her to sign a training contract with her, which obviously would not do as much returns. So the company agrees because they are always looking at money and draft the terms of marriage that is like a slavery contract to the ML, and then the FL is forced to marry the ML and begins a new life as like an imprisoned wife or a slave, which obviously can go either way. It can be very good or it can be very bad, depends. Like if you want a Beauty and the Beast kind of happy ending, that's fine. If you don't, that's also fine. Right, and then in dungeon, so the title is most OP slime dungeon because why? A lot of people are anime influenced, and yeah, that is kind of how it works. So the concept, there are a few over here. So OP is one of it that male leads actually really like. Weak to strong, a very popular thing, but if you do it wrong, you get flamed. Poor to rich, this is something that everybody desires because most of us admit it, we're poor. That's why we read from pirate sites. I know, I'm calling you all out, readers. Right, and then after that, system, this is a mainstream staple over there. Leveling, it's kind of like system mainstream leveling also. And then cute, this is not so common. Yeah, they're not so common in mainstream like male lead, but this is kind of like my specialty. Like if you take a look at all the male leads that I have, it's like I have a fluff section in there, and no romance is also not very common in there, but it's kind of like my forte. So I write cute, I write no romance. Non-human or monster is also kind of like my forte for some reason. Like if you look at Monarch of Solitude, it's a leech, so it's not human. And then if you take a look at Ball of Nothing, it's also not human. Yes, I have a penchant for writing things that are cute, no romance, and non-humans for male lead. I don't know why. Don't ask me, but I like fantasy so much that yeah, it's become like natural for me to not write humans, because why choose to be human when you can be a non-human? Like if I had a choice, I would not choose human as my species. But I live on Earth, and like humans are probably the ones that are less shitty of all other things. Like it's either eat or be eaten if you are not a human. But as a human, you can choose not to eat and not to be eaten. I guess some sense of it, like you eat, you don't be eaten. Normally, I'm not a cannibal. So yeah, so non-humans, yeah. If I could, I would probably want to be an alien or like jellyfish. Don't ask why. Right, so this is like the concept. So the characters, again, if it's not human, so because it's an OP slime dungeon, so what more befitting than slime? Why slime? I'm obsessed. Okay, let's just leave it as that. I'm obsessed. Right, so the outline. So a slime gains a sudden awakening and intelligence after many years of cultivating. Receive the slime goddess's blessing, and it starts to be a sanctuary for the weak slimes who are constantly getting killed by beginning adventures, even though they have done nothing bad to humans. So his goal is to create a dungeon by gathering the power of slimes and defeating adventurers while getting along with other monsters. Okay, the last part, getting along with other monsters, most probably with the level of cute. Okay, that is how I normally write my things, but of course, this is just going to be a writing prompt exercise. I'm not actually going to turn this into a book. Like I have another book title which is on hold that I may or may not get to. It's Transmigration with My Pet Cactus. Yes. Don't ask why. It just happened. It can happen. Some things just happen. I wanna cry, but yeah, okay. Alright, let's get to this. Maybe I should turn this to like a subheading 2 and this into like a subheading 2 update to match. Yeah, this is probably better. Update to match. No, what did I do? I don't want that. No. Okay, how do I make that? Oh my god, I'm such a noob. This is not a subtitle. I want this to be heading 2, and I want this to be like this and update to match. Does it work? Update to match. Okay, it does work. Okay, it does work. But this is like too huge. This is what, 16. This is 16. This is 12. Can I make this like 14? Bum. Okay, and then can I just do this? Update to match. Does it work? Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Okay. I'm good. Alright, so what I do after now is I write as much as possible for like this. So yeah. Okay, how do you get like participation like in here? Okay, first join the server, and then okay, this is like the server link. It should be in my description of the YouTube stream as well. Okay, and then grab your roles from okay, from roles, get it from here. There are like a lot of roles in here, so the one that you want is this one here. Just click on this thing, it will give you the role, and then you will have access to the secret channel here, which is only for writers, or this secret channel here, which is only for writers. And in the secret channel here, there is this. So how do you go to this? Go up there, go to threads, and this is the one. Everything else is just trash. I was testing things. Okay, so click on this, join this, and this is where you do it, right? So I will use Sprinto. Okay, so sprint options 15. There we go. And then you want to choose join. It should start you off with 0 word count, right? So this is how it is. And then when it pings you, you're like ping, okay, then you start writing, or you can begin early because you're a filthy cheater like me. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. I'm not gonna talk, I need to write. You guys can feel free to join. Okay, so time is up. I will probably count this. It's pretty long. It's 692 words. Okay, I don't know how much I wrote in like 15 minutes. I don't know what the speed is like, but it's crazy. This is like first chapter kind of quality. It takes too long. It takes too freaking long. Right, so oh my god, I'm on fire. The coffee I had this morning is working brilliant. Yeah, it's 46 words per minute. I usually don't type this fast. It's a prompt, not a series. Right, so this is a pretty much first chapter thing. It definitely went off the rails of what I was plotting. So like the outline and whatever not is well, it took a different turn. I don't know what came over me, but sometimes in the creative process, people tend to get sidetracked. This is my sidetrack, so shall I read it? Alright, so I don't know how I got to this, but I just got to this. So, okay, Monsieur, do you have any other means to pay off this debt? Trembling on the oily couch in some media entertainment's office, Monsieur, age 24, shook her head. So I'm pretty sure 24 is not the age of college, but whatever. So, but please, I can work to pay it off. I promise. I can work on administration, clean the toilets, and even do the accounts. There has to be a better way than becoming an internet trainee idol, right? Internet idol trainee. It was another fancy term for a virtual adult entertainer. So-yeon did not expect the loan from her brother. Did not expect the loan her brother took to end up haunting her after he fled to a different country. Without a house or degree, she was forced to drop out of college from the constant harassment by this loan company disguised as an entertainment agency. Monsieur weighed her options. Maybe suicide was better. Bang. Okay, this sound effect thingy is very common in web novel, in case you're new. Alright, so unlike Monsieur who jumped on the couch, the company's director only looked annoyed at the rude guest. He was used to it by now. There was only one person in his company with this level of audacity. Alright, what is the meaning of this? The guest roared. Wasn't this Raymond Park? Anyone could recognize that flamboyant pink hair like a flamingo. He was the hottest celebrity in Korea with the worst attitude. Every year he would be ranked the most hated celebrity with all kinds of scandals. Yet, nobody in the industry could deny that this man was dripping with talent, from his bad boy charms to the songs he made. They always sold. He was the nation's villain, and everyone knew him. Eyeing the bold director, the idol growled and was about to kick the nearest of his chair when he spotted a new person in the room. The new lady looked nothing like those slutty and fake brats he hung out with. She was a prim and proper civilian. What was she doing here? From the looks of it, the director must be up to no good again. Although it was none of his business, Raymond removed his sunglasses to get a better look at her. What's she doing here? Smiling, the director explained how she was going to be the new talent under them. She? The idol scoffed. Can she even dance? The fat and bald director rolled his eyes. She's young and pretty. There's no need to dance. You know that internet idols are the rage these days, right? Mimi quit on us, so I had to find a replacement. What do you know? We can help write off her debt situation. She's just about to sign the contract. Why are you here? Oh. It was no secret that Mimi was going to be the company's first adult streamer. No matter how he looked, this woman wouldn't make a good entertainer. A debt situation, huh? Now that he had a closer look at her, she might fit the bill. How much does she owe the company? Raymond asked his money-grubby director. 2 million won. The director shrugged. The contract is for 4 years. Surely she can pay it off. Thump. The black shiny card on the director's desk made everyone in the room hold their breaths in surprise. I'll pay the debt off. Instead, draft her a new contract and contact the Ministry of Rights. A Ministry of Rights? What are you? Pressing a finger to that moustache, Raymond smirked and gave the curious pauper a smirk. Okay, this is terrible writing. Okay, for writing problem in 15 minutes, I'll overlook the cringe. Okay, remember the latest dating scandal? It's, oh my god, my typo is fantastic. Okay, it's putting me out of business. Thankfully, there's someone here capable of shutting their mouths. You, he pointed at Monsieur. You have no problems being my wife, right? Until this scandal blows over in the next 2 years, it's probably better than becoming an adult streamer. What do you say? Between the devil and the abyss, Monsieur chose salvation. Only if you promise that I don't have to serve you in bed. Women raised the bar. Why would I? I like men. Okay, this is like the plot twist that my brain just shut down. I don't know why. Right, so smiling now that they had something in common, Missio brightened up. And I like women. I'll be in your care. Just like that, everyone in Sun Media Entertainment went home happy. So obviously this is not gonna be a very good first chapter for like a you just ended like basically the entire plot of the story, and you need like to participate in WPC. It's not gonna be the best, and I'm not participating in WPC, but if I were to write something like that, it's gonna be this. Now, I'm not the best in writing FL, but it's attempted Aitsuji style of comedy. I just don't ask me what's wrong with my brain, okay? Everything is wrong. You should ask me what's right with my brain instead. It's easier. The answer is nothing. Right? So this is it. I probably took too long, right? So if Venus is here, it will probably be better. So I probably won't do this. So it's about 1.5 hours, right? So this is the test stream, and this is roughly what we're gonna do like from next week onwards. So streams, okay, currently it's set at 2 p.m. GMT plus 8 time zone on Wednesdays. Yeah, so this is like the new stream time. So we will try to get things out and prepare certain things before that. I don't know if it's gonna be weekly or like once every 2 weeks, because I have no idea what WPCs are going to be launched and how frequent they will be launched, but I will try to do this as frequent as possible until I get 500 subscribers. So if you like to see this kind of content more, please share, and also please subscribe so that my friends can actually get free Scrivener licenses to actually better bring to you content that they should be doing without their computers crashing and losing 900 words every single time they have. 900 words, do you know the pain of going through that? Right, so that's all for me today. Thank you for joining. It's a test stream, so it shouldn't be very long. I took way longer than I liked, and that's all.